there's quite a lot of despondency in the food and hospitality industry. When you hear big local businesses saying that, it's quite a worrying forecast. And that's just the wages, that's not the NI or the other factors.
Well, hello there and welcome to the About Small Business follow-up series. In this episode, I'm going to be having a quick chat with Rachel Jewson from Knitsley Farm Shop. Rachel, you appeared in the 4th ever episode.
Yes.
About a year ago.
Is that how long?
And it is, that's how long. Now, I do remember at the time you were like a bit nervous about being on camera.
Got the makeup on today.
You got the makeup on. Have you actually watched it?
I have, yes.
You have,
yes.
And you're happy with what you saw? Yeah. I mean, it's certainly well viewed, sort of well over 200 views,
Right.
people watching, so certainly excellent. How have things been going since then?
All right,
Over the past year?
I mean, we didn't have the best of summers last year with the weather and everything. I'm hopeful that this year is looking a little bit better with the way the weather's
Fingers
been.
crossed, we've got some sunshine at the minute.
Yeah, and that's definitely been kinder for the farming side, for the lambing. That's been great this Easter. But yeah, last year was all right. Christmas trade was still quite strong. So, no, it was okay.
Excellent stuff. And I noticed the where we filmed in the episode, that seems to have made some progress.
It has, yeah, it's coming on. As I said last time, fitting it in around all the other things of the business. My husband's doing a lot of the work, so it tends to get left if something else is needed to be done, like on the farming side. And then in the very, very high winds that we had back in February, we lost an older barn out the back. So he's had to stop doing the cycle barn to do that because the whole building has to come down. But yeah, it's getting there. So hopefully for the back end of this year, it'll be functioning.
Right, excellent stuff. So it's good that, because I do know certainly a lot of businesses have been experiencing a degree of pressure.
Yeah, there's a massive amount of pressure. I mean, we're part of Food and Drink North East, and I did an event with them about a fortnight ago, which is talking to people in the sector. We did a panel discussion. And there's quite a lot of despondency in the food and hospitality industry.
Which is, it's not good, is it?
Not good at
particularly
all.
as things are sort of appearing to become more isolationist and things like that.
Yeah. So I know, there was other local business people there, and one gentleman who runs a very big local business, and he's not invested, where he's always invested over the years. Although he's got the money from the bank, he said, I'm not investing at this point. And when you hear big local businesses saying that, it's quite a worrying forecast.
Absolutely. I mean, in your opinion, what's the way forward?
I don't know.
No one seems to, which is quite scary.
The problem is, as a small business, when you do have to put prices up, and we've talked to some friends who run another small business locally, we're going to have to put prices up because of all the costs we've got coming. I mean, the term going around the media is awful April,
Right.
because that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And, they've said that they've seen customers walk out because of the price rises, but it's not something we want to do as businesses.
Absolutely not.
But it's
no.
just survival. We've just done the wages, and with the living wage increases from the government, and then other staff who aren't necessarily affected by living wage but still need this equivalent pay rise, across the board of our staff, it's 8.3%.
It's a lot to...
And that's just the wages, that's not the NI or the other factors.
I think of the wage increase alone, I saw something online, and it was a small coffee shop, and they were saying that to accommodate simply the rise in wages, they would need to sell an additional, I think it was 400 croissants a month.
Yeah.
Which, when you look at it like that, it's...
Yeah. It's terrifying, and then things like the government withdrew some of the support on retail and hospitality business rates.
Right.
So our business rates have tripled. So it's
It's where you find that from, isn't it? Do you think people are actually aware of...
No, I don't think so. And I think, like I say, when you're a small business, nobody knows who Mr. Tesco is. You don't see.
Yeah.
But, if you put your price rises up, sometimes there's the opinion, oh, well, you're just trying to more profiteering. And it's not, it's literally, it's trying to keep 37 local people employed and safeguard jobs and hopefully make a little bit of money to reinvest.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that we've ever done. You know, we've grown the business over the years, we've invested in facilities, we're doing new, just always trying to keep fresh and offer new things. But that becomes hard when you've got other things that are thrown at you.
Factors that largely are out of your control. Because I mean, certainly, I mean, I think most people in the area know of Knitsley Farm Shop. They know you as a person. You're sort of quite well known locally, and obviously the family. But it is just difficult to obviously overcome these. What, like you say, sort of tripling in business rates, massive increases in. I mean, in your view, what could or should the government be doing?
I'm not sure. I know they say there's black holes to fix and things like that, but you know, on one hand, they're taking a lot of money from small businesses, or on the other side, farmers, and then we're sending an awful lot of money abroad. And I know that needs to be done as well, but I think we need to look at like the pensioners. You know, the pensioners are a huge sector who are going to suffer with various things that have been thrown.
Yeah.
And I was chatting to the meeting that we did with Food and Drink North East. I think one thing that's slipped under the radar, because everybody's jumped on the bandwagon of farmers and the inheritance tax, is the business side that they've removed. So if business owners want to pass on any business to, you know, the next generation, then that's also going to be inheritance tax.
Yeah.
So you're losing that entrepreneurial growth element that we've had in Britain over the years. So, you know, farmers could potentially sell something, but if you have an engineering company, you can't sell off a machine to pay an inheritance tax bill, or you can't because it's all contained and you need it all. And it's that's sort of slipped under the radar, that it's just small business across the country, I think.
It is, yeah. I mean, it does seem quite sort of gloomy. Is there anything that we can look at that might be a little more positive?
We just keep trying. Like I say, we keep trying to find new things to offer, and hope that, you know, our great customer base that we've had it'll be Ellen's 18 this year, so 17 years we've been open, stick with us and sort of try and encourage people to use small businesses and understand that they're not just doing it to make more money. You know, that they're trying to maintain a living, cover the costs, which are, you know, across the board. We've mentioned wages and rates and things like that, but you know, all of these costs are going to drive food inflation. Yeah. You know, we've got, not going into the whole tariff thing and everything like that, but it's a time when
after another, isn't it?
We should really be focusing on food security for our country.
Yes.
And producing for our country. And that would help, but it's the food input costs are just going to go through the roof as well. So just, you know, like I say, the sun's shining, and you've got to hold on to those days when the sun's shining and the lambs have been born.
So your message to anyone sort of watching, wanting to help, is just stick with it and keep supporting local business.
Yes, definitely.
I don't think there's anything fairer that you can say that. So Rachel, thanks again.
Thank you very much. Thank you.